It seems like everywhere you look in the garden, there's new foliage emerging and beautiful flowers like on this cherry tree here. And now's a great time to establish new garden beds, plant some plants, fix your soil, so rejuvenate your soil, and fertilise the garden. This is the herb garden. It is filled with delicious things like mint, oregano, and rosemary. But with all these plants taking up this space, they are competing for as much nutrients as possible through their roots. And when there is so much competition, this will often leave the soil a little bit depleted. But luckily, there is an easy solution to fixing this. It's no big problem at all. Dividing plants that are overcrowding an area will help to eliminate some of the competition taking place. And spring is the ideal time to be doing this kind of work in the garden, as the soil is nice and warm, which means the roots will recover quicker as they're actively growing. And when you're dividing those plants, make sure you get as much of that root ball as possible. That way, when you plant them into their new garden, they're going to establish really well with a good set of roots. I have also cut back a lot of the old season growth, as this forces the plant to respond quicker by producing new growth and putting energy into its roots. So these may not look like much at the moment, but in a few weeks they'll be bursting with brand new foliage and looking great in the garden. But there is another step in my process that I do every season, and that is to feed the garden, but to also rejuvenate the soil. And to do this, I'm using an absolute classic. It's been used by gardeners for years, and it's Yates Dynamic Lifter Soil Improver and Fertiliser. It's an organic blend of chicken manure, seaweed, fish meal, and blood and bone, which are all key ingredients to helping your soil so it will rejuvenate it and improve it, which means you get better plants as a direct result. But greatest thing about it is that you can use it year round. So no matter the season, you can use this to feed your garden and help that soil. And if you're not into growing produce, you can still use it for ornamental plants or even natives. Dynamic Lifter is great for bringing life back into tired soils and gardens. But it's also great that there is an easy organic solution to rejuvenating the garden, as you can use it in wildlife-friendly spaces, food forests, flower beds, community gardens, and of course, any veggie patch. By making sure beds aren't overcrowded, your plants are being pruned or tidied up, the garden has been replenished and improved, and of course that your plants have also been fed throughout the year can make a huge difference to the success of your garden. And if you do have a plant that is struggling, try one of these steps, because you never know, it might send it in the right direction and you'll have a great plant as a result.